So what? So kind of what drew you into helping small businesses? Like, is it just seeing them succeed, or is it like something for you?
You have to go back to I am a wait staff person. So I used to run the kitchen at Outback Steakhouse in Tulsa.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't want to do that again, but I
Right,
did learn
right.
a lot of things. And when I left that job, my husband was like, you know what, you're always at the library. Go find a job at the library.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I was really introduced to the power of information and how you can assist people to get to their next level. So about 6 years ago was my board. We have a board of trustees that governs what we do. We're funded by a 50-cent sales tax here in Ponca City. And we noticed that there were a lot of home-based businesses popping up. And we're like, how do we reach them? How do we get to those people where they are and help them grow? And I said, we could do a pitch off. We could do a pitch. We could do a business plan competition. And my board bit. They said, go for it.
Yeah.
So we started that about 7 years ago. About 3 years ago, they said, you can do 2 a year. Awesome.
Yeah.
So Game Masters Guild actually pitched the third year that we had it. I think that's the most we had pitched. We had 5 pitchers that year, and you guys weren't ready for that. And I told them, there'll be 3 in there. It won't be any big deal. And there were all these people, and it was like, why are there this many people? So, and that's just one of the facets that we do at Ponca City Development Authority. But my area is small business and information. If somebody's looking for customer segmentation, if somebody's looking to say, hey, I got this really great customer, and I want more of them, I can go through a little 15-minute exercise with them, and we can identify all those great things about that customer and go looking for others.
Okay.
So that's customer segmentation. I say customer segmentation. Sometimes people go, what does that mean?
Yeah. I was one of those people
There
until
you
just
go.
now. So.
But that's basically it. And sometimes, people are looking for, what marketing would work for me. And then we have to do another 15-minute exercise. Who are you trying to reach?
Yeah.
What age group are they, which is really big, because if you're trying to reach the 20-somethings, then radio's not for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's a lot of different segmentations, marketing, customer, businesses, inside Ponca City, outside Ponca City. And as PCDA, we're looking for industry people. We're looking for people who are going to take money from outside Ponca City and bring it in.
Sure.
So, everybody has different theories on small business, but
Sure.
a business plan helps everything. The other side of the business plan is, in the middle of the business plan, people go, this isn't going to work for me. This is not a good idea. So if I have stopped them from spending their life savings on something,
Sure.
I've done my job too.
Yeah.
That if you can get them in enough to go, I don't know if this is really, if I can commit to that.
Right.
And just like the brainstorming session I had with you, where we started with one idea and ended up with another, and here we are 4 years later.
Right.
Yeah.
I was in a brainstorming session earlier with a gentleman who had retired and had money to spend, and he'd bought a building, and we went through everything he wanted to do. And I went, are you going to be able to do these things? And he's like, well, no, I thought I would contract with somebody else. I'm like, who? He goes, well, I'll have to find them. I'm like, okay, that's part of your business plan.
Yeah.
And is your wife going to help with this? And she's over there going,
Yeah.
no, I'm retired as well, and I plan to be retired. I don't want a second job.
Sure.
So this is on him. So we're going through it, and I'm going through pricing and all of this stuff, and I haven't heard a peep from them, nor have I seen the building go up. So I did my job really, really well. And what's really funny is I have a bookkeeper in City Central who kind of's like, I need you to talk to these people. And I'm like, bad idea. And she goes, I don't know that it's a bad idea. It's not a well thought out idea.
Sure.
And if it's going to be a business, it needs to have more to it. And then here comes Kat with her big whiteboard, and we put things down. And really it boils down to, how much are you going to charge?
Yeah.
How much are your expenses? How much money do you want to recoup or throw at this per year? And who's going to run it?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, who's going to be the face in the building?
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, whenever they come up with an idea for a business, they don't think about everything. They're just like, yeah, it'd be cool if I sold X or Y, and then but they don't think of the how or whens.
Yeah. I mean,
Or where's?
Or the where. Yeah.
I mean, we're here all the time, and you
Yeah.
have to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're not, like, there's even multiple of us to run everything, but it still feels like you're here all the time. You
Yeah.
gotta make sure things are going right. You gotta talk to people. Like,
Yeah.
one of the biggest things for us is being here playing games.
Yes.
So when somebody walks in, there's been so many times someone's bought something just because we're playing it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's like, that's why I like the display case, so we can put stuff in there to show things, so people come in and they're like, oh, what's that?
Neat.
Yeah.
Let me show you.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And I like today, Wes was here, and I was like, I bought a pack, and I was just looking at him, and he was like, I'll take 4. And I was like, yeah, I did my job.
I mean, I will put up a guy who has his HVAC, has done his journeyman, and now he wants to start his own business. Please come see me, because the people in our town. Yes, we have those people. Yes, we have people already in there, but that doesn't mean we can't add another one.
I was gonna say, you can never really have enough of it.
No, and there are towns in the state of Oklahoma that don't have HVAC people.
Yeah.
Right.
And if you will travel, if you will start that, and we can identify them really quickly. All
Yeah.
I have to do is pull that NAICS code up, the classification code up, and I can say that these 15 communities don't have any HVAC in there in a 30-mile radius.
Yeah.
If you want to do a traveling one, let's look at what that business plan looks like.
Yeah.
I bet it would do really well.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
mean,
yeah. Hey, if anybody's looking for an opportunity for a career, assessors, property assessors, building assessors, we don't got none.
Really?
We have, I think, one and maybe one in training right now.
Wow.
But the thing is, they have to find somebody who will mentor them. They have to go into like a apprenticeship type program.
Sure.
So, and that takes a little bit of work on the front end. But if you have that person, you're willing to move for a year and a half, and come back, you're pretty much set up.
Yeah.
And it's I think it's a year-long course. You take a certification test. You go do your internship, and it's built on hours. So if you can do it really fast,
Oh,
Yeah.
go through it.
if you can move through it fast, then you can get to that next step and you can set up your own business. So I don't know that much about individual businesses. What I know is what works for Ponca City. So if somebody comes to me and say, hey, I want to open up and this is bad because this is a good business, but I want to open up a beauty salon. And I'm like, we have a lot of beauty salons.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's your differentiation?
Yeah.
Well, I want to do a traveling one. Oh, cool. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay, what kind of certifications do you need? Well, I've got this and this and this. And I'm like, okay, but you're now traveling. So what kind of certifications do you need?
Yeah.
Do you have to have a certain setup when you go into somebody's house? Do you have to have insurance? Do you have to be bonded? And that makes them think about the business of business.
Yeah.
Now, that would be great. I've been after people to do a traveling oil change service for people that don't like to leave their house.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, sure.
They drive their car to church on Sunday. They may drive their car to the grocery store on Tuesday or Wednesday, and that is all.
Yeah.
But by God, they are religious about those oil changes.
Yes, they are. Yes, they
And
are.
they do not want to go to Walmart to do that.
That would be my father.
But if you had somebody who was bonded, insured, could come to your house and
Sure.
could offer you, we can only do this once a year. This is how much it'll cost, and I can do this, this, and this.
Yeah.
And this is the cost of it. And they say yay or nay, and then you go about your business.
Yeah, that's a fantastic idea. I mean, it really is.
It was a fantastic idea 10 years ago. You can't do that on new cars.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. That
So
is
you're
true.
looking at your people who are driving anything that is 2006 and older.
Just getting harder and harder to
Yep.
do that stuff.
But there's also tire checks. There's windshield wiper changes out. There's all these little things that could be done at your house, and there's always people who will pay for that.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have all 3 of your cars and your everything done at one time, just out of somebody's mobile unit.
Yeah.
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 So it's about the best fit for Ponca City, and maybe it's not the best fit for Ponca City, and I will talk to them about that. Like I said, talking them out of doing it here is just as important as talking them into the things that they need to
Sure.
do for their
Sure.
business.
Yeah.
So I had a guy who helped me with these kind of classes in Tulsa, and he used to say, if I save them thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars because they pay $400 to take my course, I've done my job. And if they rock it with their business because they paid me $400, I have done my job.
Yeah, sure.
So he had a great course. I was the library chick that came in, and I got all of these businesses, and I would do the background research, and I'd do the customer segmentation, and I'd come in, and I'd be like, and there'd always be one in the bunch, and I'd be like, I don't understand what this is. So you're going to have to tell me more, and we're going to have to talk.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, it's this and this and this and this. And I'm like, is there a market for that? Because I couldn't find it. Yeah. Well, I just thought it was a really great idea.
Yeah.
No, let's find out where that would be. And, it'd be maybe the East Coast. That's a really great idea. But here, it's not a really great idea.
Yeah.
Or the West Coast, where it's sunny all the time.
Right.
That's a really great idea. But 6 months out of the year, you got no job, dude.
Yeah.
None.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to be shoveling snow.
Right.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
So, and it was very much, they're like, oh, I can move to California. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So, and those little things, but that's what we do is we try to connect people in Ponca City with other people in Ponca City. We try to make sure that small businesses have what they need to succeed or to not spend their money badly.
Sure.
And especially what I do with the pitch off, which our next pitch off is April 3rd. Okay. And the business plans are due March 22nd. We will have another one in the fall. So I do one fall, one spring. Okay. And I have to have 3 businesses competing to activate it. So sometimes I'm groveling. Hello, have you finished your business plan?
Yeah, I know. I try to push it to a lot of people that talk about opening a small, because it's such a great opportunity, really.
And I don't think they understand when I say incentives, I'm talking about a $2,000 check made out to the business. I'm talking about $1,000 for equipment. That means you hand me your equipment list, I go pay for it. Yeah. You get the equipment. Wow. $1,000 for marketing, advertising, or training that you might need, which is you tell me what it is, I go pay for it. Mm-hmm. You get a chamber membership, you get office space, either at City Central if you're needing small office space, or we have an agreement with Pioneer Technology Center in their incubator when you're free if they have the space there and you need it for manufacturing or design or whatever you're doing. Sure. And then you get me. And the collaboration that comes with, you need a bookkeeper. Okay, do you need media? Do you need advertising? What's our needs? And we roll through that. Yeah. And then, sometimes your 3-year, 5-year plan goes really, really fast. Mm-hmm. Aesthetic State of Mind, which is one of my babies too. They're a med spa, and she pitched in 2020 at the beginning of the pandemic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Wow. A med spa.
Yeah.
That makes you pretty for other people to see. And she took the opportunity during that first year of COVID to, so you're selling that piece of equipment for half price. What if I get it for 1/3 of the cost and I'll pay for training, or I'll do this. She had all of her equipment done. But she had clients coming in because people weren't traveling. They weren't going to Dallas.
Right.
They weren't going to Colorado.
No.
We have a med spa here. Let's go there.
Just something to do that isn't.
Yeah. She had vitamin C IVs. She had the immune builder IVs, all of that kind of stuff. She has a membership package. Thank you very much. and all of those things enabled her to zip through her first 5 years in 2 years. And that also meant that she also started her physician's assistant, her PA, which is a grueling 2-year process, which she just received her certification for.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, COVID been very good to me.
Yeah.
So, and I'm really proud of her. She's very, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. I'm kind of scared what she's going to do now because she's done everything that she was ready to do.
Yeah, what's next?
I was like, okay, she needs to take